Hey guys, if this is your first time watching us, welcome to the channel. In this 6-part series, we're going to talk about the complete guide to buying your first home, or maybe just your first home in North Carolina, how the whole process works, and we're going to break it down step by step for you. So we're going to look into your credit, affordability, and the type of loan you might be trying to get. So the first of many steps is getting that pre-approval, knowing what you can afford. And there's several parts to this. First part is to determine what your credit score is, because banks look at this to tell whether you're going to actually pay them back or not. It's an investment for them, so they're wanting their money to eventually come back to them. Now, I will say, don't go on these online credit check places, because you're going to have it checked by the lender that you choose anyway, so you might as well go through them. They get a lot more in depth of what is on your credit report and what you might be able to fix if there's any issues in that. That's why there's another really good reason is to get your pre-approval a month or so before you're really ready, just to make sure there ain't any hiccups on that credit report that you can fix in that time frame. I will say, don't get your pre-approval too soon. If you're trying to shoot for like 3 or 4 months from now, I would wait, because the pre-approvals only last so long and you don't want it to run out and have to redo it again. Your credit score also determines what rates you get a lot of times. So the better your credit score, a lot of times that'll lower your interest rate, which also lowers your monthly payment. So after the lender has ran your credit and determines, yes, you can qualify for some type of loan, you have to have the discussion with them what type of loan is best for you. So there's 4 or 5 different types of loans you can get. They all have their own benefits and downsides, so it's important to discuss what is what with each one to see what's the best fit for you. Sometimes it comes down to this is just a better loan package and easier to get to closing. And sometimes it comes down to how much money you have saved, or if you have any money saved, and how much money you're actually going to be putting down on the loan, because they all vary. Now, when we mention money down, don't get this confused. And I repeat, don't get this confused with closing cost. It is part of it, but it is not all your closing cost. We'll have other videos in this series, again, talking about all the costs associated with purchasing a house. And when you're looking at this type of loan, we're going to look at what your affordability is, what your comfort level is, based off your credit score, based off your debt, based off a number of factors. And don't forget that a lot of times, if you're a renter, you may not be used to this, but you're going to have stuff escrowed in. So you'll have your mortgage payment, you'll have taxes, county and city. You might have a HOA, depending on what type of property you're looking at buying, and you're going to have insurance. It's all going to be factored into your monthly payment, and can vary if you get cheaper insurance or more expensive insurance, or if you look at this house over here with a $200 HOA versus this one over here for the $150 HOA, or maybe even a house with no HOA. Now, if you just can't wait to discuss and see what other costs are associated with purchasing a home, you can skip ahead, and my information's down below. You can email or call me, either one. I'd be happy to talk to you. So now that we've determined your credit and your affordability, we're going to get you a pre-approved or pre-qualified letter. Now, a lot of times people use these in conjunction, but there is a difference between pre-approved and pre-qualified. And this is important for you sellers too. If you're selling in another state or even just across the street, it's important to keep this in mind when you're reviewing your offers. So pre-approved, this means that you've told the lender, I make X amount, I have this much debt, and my credit score, and they may have ran it, your credit score is around this amount. It's a rough estimate of you can afford, and we will loan you this amount of house. Now, pre-qualified, on the other hand, means that you have submitted paperwork to the bank or lender. That means that you have provided perhaps check stubs or past tax statements, anything they might have required. But basically it means that you have proven to them you make X. They have ran your credit and know your credit is X. You have submitted bank statements or other documents that show your debts, your monthly debts that you have to pay are X. And they have proof that you can afford X amount house. Now, this is important, again, if you're a seller, because, hey, you want to make sure that this person has already submitted this paperwork. As a buyer, this can save you some time because you've already submitted your paperwork. Now, this doesn't mean that the lender's not going to go back and ask for the same documents again or ask for updated documents just to make sure, hey, you still have a job. But it definitely can put you ahead of the competition slightly, because assuming the realtor on the other end knows the difference between pre-qualified and pre-approved, you can look at and say, hey, look, this guy has already submitted documentation. We don't have, and we're not going to have, any hiccups down the road of financing and have to put this house back on the market. Now, if you need help trying to get pre-qualified or finding a lender, again, my contact info is down below. I'd be happy to refer you to a couple local lenders that work in this market. Until then, take a look at a couple of these videos of what you should avoid and what the next steps are down the road to getting your home in North Carolina. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.